Hello everyone, welcome to my class. So today we are going to study the part 4 of lesson number 1, that is matter in our surrounding. Okay, the today's topic is effect of pressure. In the last class we have studied about the effect of temperature, and in today's class we will study about the effect of pressure on the state of matter. So without wasting much time, let's start our class. Effect of change in pressure on states of matter. So when we apply pressure on the particles, what will happen? They will come close to each other, and this will increase the force of attraction among the particles. Okay, we all know that if we consider a liquid state. Okay, so in the liquid state we all know that the particles have enough spaces between them. Okay, like this. Consider it the particles present in the liquid state. So if we apply pressure on it, then what will happen? That the particles will come close to each other. This will increase the force of attraction between the particles. Okay, and it will convert into the state in the next. Like if it is a liquid state, then it will convert into the solid state. Okay, so when we apply pressure, the particles of matter come close to each other, thereby increasing the force of attraction among the particles. So when we compress and decrease the temperature of a gas or the liquid state, it will change into the next state of matter. Okay, like gas into change into the liquid state, liquid change into the gas, change into the solid state. Okay, for example, dry ice. We all know that carbon dioxide in the solid form is known as dry ice. So when we decrease the pressure, what will happen? This dry ice, it will convert into the gaseous form, directly into the gaseous form. Okay, when we decrease the pressure to 1 atmosphere. Okay, so this is an example of change in pressure. So this is how the effect of pressure have effect on the states of matter. So when we apply pressure, the states of matter also changes from one state to the another. Understand? Next is interconversion of states of matter. We have studied it in the earlier classes. So in this class we have studied, we will study about the terms that use in it. Okay. So the terms used in this process are fusion, solidification, vaporization, condensation, and sublimation. Okay. So one by one we will study about that. The first one is fusion. The process of melting of a solid into liquid is called fusion. Okay, when the solid state of matter convert into the liquid state, this is known as fusion. The next is vaporization. Vaporization is the phase or the process in which the liquid state of matter convert into the vapor or a gaseous state, that is known as vaporization. Okay. Next is sublimation. So in this process, what will happen? The solid state directly convert into the liquid, or gas directly changes to the solid without being changed into the liquid state. This is known as sublimation process. Okay. Next is solidification. Solidification is also known as freezing. Okay, as the name suggests, freezing means something is freezing. Okay, so in this the liquid solidifies or freeze into the solid state. Okay, this is known as solidification or freezing. The next is condensation. So in this process, what will happen? In this process, a gas on cooling turns into a liquid state or convert into a liquid state at a specific temperature is known as condensation. So these are all the terms that are involved in the process of interconversion of states of matter. Understand? The next topic is evaporation. So this is a very common term that we all know because we studied about it in the lower classes also. So what is evaporation? The process of conversion of a substance from the liquid state to the gaseous state at any temperature below its boiling point, that is known as evaporation. So when the temperature is below its boiling point, that is known as evaporation, and when it is equal or above the boiling point, that is known as boiling process. Okay, not evaporation. So the process in which a liquid state is converted into the gaseous state at any temperature below its boiling point, this is known as evaporation process. Now there are some factors that affect the rate of evaporation. The first one is increase in surface area. So when we increase the surface area, what will happen? The rate of evaporation also increases because the particles have more space now. Okay, and they can evaporate very easily. For example, while putting clothes for drying up, we spread them out. Why? Because we are increasing the surface area for the rate of evaporation, so that the rate of evaporation also increases and they will dry up very quickly. Okay. Next is increase in temperature. So when we increase in temperature, the kinetic energy of the particles also increases. They will start moving very fast. Okay, and this will lead to the increase in rate of evaporation also. So increase in temperature also increases the rate of evaporation. Next is increase in humidity. So humidity is the amount of water vapor present in air, and we all know that some amount of water is present in the air. Okay, and there is a capacity of the air to hold the water vapor. Okay, means the air around us cannot hold more than a definite amount of water vapor at a given temperature. So if the humidity is high in the air, this will decrease the rate of evaporation, and if the humidity is less or humidity decrease, the rate of evaporation increases. Okay, so humidity is inversely proportional to the rate of evaporation. Understand? The next is increase in wind speed. Okay, so when the speed of wind increases, the rate of evaporation also increases. Why? Because the water vapors are blown away by winds, allowing more evaporation. So this will increase the rate of evaporation also. Okay, so these are the factors that affect the rate of evaporation. The next one is evaporation causes cooling. So how evaporation causes cooling? So during the process of evaporation, when the particles of the liquid are changing into the gaseous state, what will happen? First, they will lose the energy. Okay, and when they are converting into the evaporation, converting into the gaseous form, they goes up. They will absorb the energy from the surrounding. Okay, to compensate the energy that they will lose, or they lose in the earlier time. Okay, so they will absorb the energy from the surroundings, that will make the surroundings cool. Okay, for example, the perspiration or sweating in our body keeps the body temperature constant by taking away the extra heat from body as a latent heat of evaporation. Okay, so that is why when we sweat, our body temperature remains constant. We feel cool. Okay, so this is it for the today's class. There's 2-3 topics are left in this chapter that we will study in our next class. So till that time, please revise all the points and also study from the textbook. Okay, so thank you so much for watching.